It's just me. What's going on? All right. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, Johan. I just said to Alex before he came on, I said, if he joins right on o'clock, I'm going to put him on by himself and see what happens. But I didn't think I'd be that cruel to you to leave on too long for yourself. Can you notice any difference about my voice, Johan?
Yeah, you've obviously been chatting a bit too much.
Well, no, I haven't. I've not said anything for the past few days. No, it's yeah, I'm still recovering at the moment and trying to get it back to normal fitness. Shall we say?
But Lisa's enjoying it though, isn't she? Doesn't have you chirping all week. Yeah.
It's quite a good tone, actually. I think it suits you, John. Maybe you should keep it permanently. Yeah, it's a bit more like, manly and commanding.
Hang on a minute, right? Are you saying that normally I'm not manly and commanding? Is that what you're getting at there? Thank you, Johan. It's interesting though that you don't actually know how you sound until you listen to yourself back. Do you?
It's awful, isn't it? I hate. It's just like it's the worst thing hearing your own voice. It's like because it's not how you hear yourself, is it?
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, just a quick rundown of what's coming up on the chat. I'll still talk, even though I'm not very well, which I might mention a few times tonight.
Commitment to the cause.
Try and get some sympathy, which I haven't got from anybody, basically. But obviously, we'll look at the calendar and ratings. We've had the Wales versus North of England Junior tournament in Liverpool last weekend, which I went to. So I'll just give a quick breakdown of the results there. And then really, there's not been much else going on, guys. Maybe some league chess. Alex, I don't know if you've got any updates there, but thinking more the Title Tuesday stuff for both of you. And then really, the rest of the next sections are kind of like worldwide news, aren't they? Because the London Chess Classic finished. Candidates, tournaments, races heating up. Dominguez is a state. And then we've also had, have you seen the news between that FIDE released for Carlsen and Neiman?
Like yesterday or something, yeah.
Yeah, it's just come out, which is, I haven't read it in full.
So
well, I mean, we'll see what your thoughts are on that then, perhaps. And then maybe we'll look forward to some stuff. And then if you two want to talk nonsense about some Caro Khan, then you can do at the end. We'll allow that to happen as well. But yeah, before we do that, though, let's ask both of you how you are. Obviously, I'm not very well. How are you, Johan? What's been going on in your life?
Yeah, not too bad. I've actually had a low-key chess week or two, to be honest. I said I'm going to tone it down a bit and then regroup for the new year. And yeah, we'll see. It seems to be. I think, Alex, you were saying the same, weren't you?
I mean, I was. It didn't really.
Okay, so you're just addicted. You just been playing.
Well, people kept saying, "Can you play matches?" And then I was like, "I don't really want to play because it was like a league match on a Sunday." But then we were like technically top.
Sunday?
Yeah, but we were top of the league, so I was like, I need to play because otherwise we have no chance. So because it's the university, and they said we can only get a room in Students' Union on a Sunday, which is just a lie. Yeah, so we have to play there, and it's like still 7:30 p.m. on a Sunday as well. It's just like how to ruin your entire week.
That sucks, doesn't it? That sucks. Wow, I would just turn up and absolutely smash them just for that.
Yeah,
I mean, that is such a lie that they can only get the Sunday. They can get loads of other evenings.
I think everyone should just team up and get amazing teams out. Because
they've been deducted 31 points. They're going to get relegated anyway, so we won't have to deal with them next season. Because they didn't realize they had to register players. So they've just been like playing anyone, and they weren't particularly good players. But for every time they did it, they had all the results overturned and then points deductions. So they're like,
wow. So I think that's the sort of like that. That's the kind of thing that doesn't happen when you don't play on a Sunday, right? Like because otherwise they'd be like, don't worry about it. You weren't really trying to cheat. But if you play on a Sunday, they're like, nope. Going to take 31 points off you.
We'll come back to that actually, Alex. I think there's maybe a bit more to that story than what you were saying. Let's stick to the schedule because we don't want to ruin point 3 already, and get through that. We won't have anything else left to talk about. Although we've never run out so far, have we? So It's pretty good. Let's just do a quick check though. Welsh Chess Union website, same Santa flying around. Lots of latest news, but the results aren't up there. We do actually have a junior tournament, I believe, coming up this weekend. So we got the 16th. Is that Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. The under 4
entries looking for that out of interest.
Yeah, so under 14 down to under 8. Let's have a click here. Oh wow, we've got 5 in the under 14. We weren't expecting that because they were on 4 for ages. Regular players.
And playing.
Yeah. Well, the top 4 have played each other quite a lot, or have seen each other in a lot of tournaments. And so well done to Thomas for entering. And good luck to you as well. You're going to be outrated there, but it's the only way to learn.
Yeah.
In that one, so fair play to you, and hopefully some more just enter, just make it a good tournament. Somebody's having a bye as well, so we can have more of a rest. Under 12s, you got 11 in. Under 10s, 10. Under 8s, 9. What do you think about those numbers, guys?
I think it's still very disappointing, isn't it?
No, isn't it? Yeah. This used to be. I feel like this is it rapid play, yeah. So like this was quite a common fixture, like just before, and it was so well attended. There was like hundreds of people there before, wasn't there? Like I just remember it being my main memory was it was always in Newport Leisure Centre, and then the first round, obviously, it's a rapid play tournament, and we'd always be like 20 minutes late. Like Dad, I remember this one bit between Caerphilly and like Newport around Machen, right? And there's this really long stretch that's straight, but it's only single roads, and like Dad would always be overtaking someone and nearly crashing, and we just like nearly die, get there 5 minutes left on my clock to beat someone when they've got to half an hour. Yeah, so I remember that tournament vividly for nearly dying every year.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the leisure centre you're talking about actually as well. Because we used to have loads of events in there. You just kind of get used to the smell and everything, don't you?
Yeah.
The shameful thing here is that we got 35 entrants there total in the tournament. When I run my half day midweek tournaments in half terms, I could get like 30 entrants for that, and we've only got 35 in this total. So it shows that there's still a lot of growth there. And I'm just wondering, because you've got obviously North Cardiff Chess Club. I'm sure some of the juniors are there from that club. We've also seen some great work from Castle Neve Chess Club. Is that right?
It's closer. Yeah.
Just say yes for me.
Yeah.
Good. Are these juniors? Obviously, not all of them will want to go and play in the championships, but what's that kind of? I don't know. What's the right way to say it? Like, what's the conversion ratio, shall we say? Are they being encouraged to come and play in this event?
Well, I think that's the word, really, isn't it? It's encouragement. You need to be told like why it's beneficial, why it's important, and what benefit you're going to get out of it. Because like if you're not educated, if you're not told, then you're thinking, right, I'm just going to go get beaten up, I'm going to be sad afterwards or whatever. But like somebody needs to be there and be like, look, the only way you get better is play and learn from your games, and then you just have one bad tournament, you'll learn, you'll be better next time, and you just need that encouragement, don't you? Like it's okay to play and lose and learn, like, because that's what we all do. Yeah,
I mean, go on, Alex. Sorry.
Do you think that, say, these age groups, because there's not even under 16, under 18, that it's going to be the parents, not the kids, right? I mean, I think the main factor is are the parents aware that it's even happening? Because whether or not the kid thinks they're going to get crashed, I mean, yeah.
It's a bit of both. Like, they need to be aware, but then they also need to understand like why it's important to play, and how it's beneficial.
Yeah, I agree, but I just don't know how people will find out about this, right? Because it's great if you know about the Welsh Chess Union website. Great, it's got a great layout. calendar's updated regularly, you can find what you want. If you don't know this exists and you're just a chess parent, like, what chance do you have of finding this tournament?
Well, it used to be, because they were so big, the numbers were big and everyone was playing, word of mouth would just get round. Everybody would know, we'd all know when every tournament was just by word of mouth. If someone didn't know, then they'd find out when we were playing football together between rounds or something, But that just, like, obviously there's no word of mouth anymore. So therefore, like, something needs to be done that's not word of mouth. And then when the numbers are up again, then you'll be back to word of mouth gets things around. So, like, that's what you want, isn't it? But there's
I don't know. I think you talking that Alex was mentioning there about chess parents. I think if you're a chess parent in South Wales, you probably, through your club, will know about the Welsh Chess Union website, I should imagine.
Well, you'd hope so.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you? I think what the Welsh Chess Union needs to do is to get them incremental, as in, we don't even know about these children yet. That are still playing chess, they're playing chess online. They might have a rating of, I don't know, I met one the other day, he's got a rating of 1,500. And I'm just like, what's going on? He's 13, 14 years old, but that's a good rating for online chess anyway at 13, 14. Of course, there are higher, but for somebody that you've never met before, we actually had some of them, Johan, come to the training weekend. Actually, that they might have joined the club, but Ian Eustace didn't know about them before.
They were all really good on the training weekend. I was impressed by all of them.
But
really impressed by especially certain aspects of their skills, like calculation, like seems to be way better these days than when we were kids. Like some of the kids that they had really low ratings, but their calculation ability was so high. It's really like unusual. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, because I know what group you're talking about there as well, and I've seen that.
Do you know what's great about that is their calculations, like one of the hardest bits, right? If they've got that skill, then actually it's easier to give them all the other skills. You just need them to play tournaments and turn up for these things.
Yeah, but I think it's all about so one thing I've seen about this tournament, I've seen it shared on some WhatsApp groups that we've got going. So obviously the North Cardiff WhatsApp group, it's been shared on there. It's been shared in Welsh, get chess back into Welsh schools, I believe, as well. A WhatsApp group, but these are people that are already into chess. They're already looking at the Welsh Chess Union website. They already should know that this tournament's been going on, and we need to be. Are these parents sharing this on their Facebook groups, their local Facebook groups? Are they sharing it throughout their schools where the chess clubs are being run? Is a key thing, because if there's a chess club in a school, do the other children within that group know that one of their children is going to this tournament? Are they telling the other children that they're going to it? Or are they just keeping quiet and not actually telling anybody? Now, it's obviously not their job technically to share it, but I think if we can all agree, if everybody just shares it once, it gets one more child to turn up, and we double the numbers that we got there, all of a sudden you've got something which looks a bit threadbare to something that looks like a really good proper tournament.
The thing is, though, if it's with that achieves lots of things, right? You get better quality chess, you get better games, you learn more from the chess, but you also have a better time. And that's one of the important things, is to have a good time at these things so that you go again because of having a good time with your friends. And then that gives you motivation to then improve and get better. Like it's just like the opposite of a vicious cycle, isn't it? Like virtuous cycle or something. Like it's just.
If you get more entrants, it also makes it easier for the organisers to pay for the venue. Makes it also that makes it more likely that somebody with a bookstall will turn up. Somebody might be there. For example, if it's in a school, somebody might turn up then to sell cans of pop, coffee, tea, and all of a sudden it makes the whole event so much better.
A coach might turn up and go through your games. It's just there's lots of benefits.
Yeah, no, definitely, absolutely spot on. Okay, well, let's hopefully maybe this stream will hopefully highlight a few things, but I think it really needs sharing amongst schools with chess clubs and schools and local Facebook groups as well to make sure that people know that it's on. But maybe if they had a beginner section for that, perhaps if there was, if they've got the space for it, would be really good. Okay, so Bridgend Blitz, that's got a star next to it, but I don't think it's been updated. And I didn't realize this was happening on Jan the 13th. Yeah, because that's the South Wales Southwest County Junior Team Tournament. Is that the leisure centre you're talking about, Johan?
No, that's Chepstow. I can't remember.
Oh, okay, different one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think there's much change from the calendar. We do have a comment in the chat, though, guys. Let me just share that on stream. I think it's quite interesting to read. Calendar, February the 17th. It's on the ECF calendar. We're just waiting for the Welsh Union 1 to update it. So the second Aberystwyth Rapid Play, February the 17th. It's going to be FIDE rated. Okay, thank you very much for putting that in the chat for us. You tempted, Alex, to go to this one?
Not sure. February could be quite busy with.
Oh yeah. We've got a training weekend, and then we've also got 4NCL, haven't we?
I think the weekend after then there's the Congress, right? If you scroll up.
Oh yeah, let's have a look at February. So where's it going to fit in? Is what we're talking about? Spring
17th,
Open.
18th Spring Open. Yeah. So I mean,
Is that the same day?
Oh, it's the same day.
17th.
Yeah. So if that's in Cardiff, I'd probably play that rather than go to.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame clashing with the Spring Open.
Not a good clash, is it?
Yeah, it's probably a bit harsh because I don't like because this tournament's usually in March, not February. So obviously that moving forward a month because of Easter's probably brought the clash on.
Yeah, Easter has made this next term so condensed. It's like we finish in the middle of March.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Okay, well, I don't know what that latest comment to chat is, but we'll move on. Okay, well, not much else has changed from what we can see at this point. Let's move a quick hiatus onto the ratings.
Oh, yes.
The favorite part of the session. Click on all. New. Any changes in the top?
I still haven't put my games in.
I don't think anyone above me's actually played recently.
So hang on, is Jan technically defrauding us or by not putting his games in?
Well, no, because he won them, so technically he's defrauding himself.
Well, if you beat me, then I am defrauding you because you won't get as many points.
So yeah, it's nice that I'm the highest loser at the moment, isn't it? The most dropping points. It's been like that for a long time. And I'm not going to play again. I was going to play on Monday, but I wasn't very well, so I pulled out of the game. It was an hour and plus drive anyway, as well, there and back. So it didn't make sense when I wasn't very well. So that is my rating going to be now. I've got
you should probably lose that rating, actually. Probably due to being inactive. They should just take it off you. Make you start again.
Inactive?
What? 9th to 10th. Everybody above you, everybody's played in November. It's just you.
You know what?
Even I've played.
Yeah, exactly.
Games, actually.
I think that game was in Liverpool, you know. So actually, I haven't played a game for ages. Yeah, just this first term is just crazy. Okay, well, let's have a look at the biggest differences. Dominated by juniors. Ruben doing a fantastic job. Was he that high before? He played a game.
He played last night. I don't know how he did, but probably won looking at his increase. But
yeah, so beat Jude. Roberts beat Angus Lloyd. That was last night actually against Angus Lloyd.
But there's a lot of club championship games there.
Yeah, we've got a good club championship which Joe went through obviously in his interview.
It's really good that. It gives you, lots of. If you haven't got a league match or something, you can play proper games.
Although I think some of the new people don't realize they're serious games. The dude on the board next to I was playing a club championship last night as well. And the guy on the board next to me got his phone out in the middle of the game and he was typing away on Messenger and he had the sound on. So every time he typed, he was and myself and my opponent were both looking at him is this happening? What? And his opponent didn't say anything. They just cracked on.
That's what people don't know. Reminds me of the last league game I played, right? Have you guys watched Breaking Bad?
No.
Yeah. Do you know the Salamanca guy that doesn't speak but rings a bell?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, someone had a ringtone that was exactly that, and they were obviously very popular because they were getting so many texts during the game, and this went on for literally 3 hours. I thought I was in the room with Hugo Salamanca like most of the time. It's like bing, 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 bing. I was like, oh God, I feel like I'm in Breaking Bad here. It was like trying to play chess.
Well, I mean, I think it's really good that the Cardiff Chess Club does that. Maybe make sure it's clear to new players what a casual game is and what an official rated game is.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get confused if you're new to chess, though, right? You go into some chess clubs and you play a game like that, and it's just casual.
But even actually, like, I don't know if it's the same, everywhere, but these days, like, it has been for a long time, but it's just like even really experienced people, it's like they just have a chat next to your board, and they're like, you've been literally coming to chess club for like 40 years. When has it been okay to just chat really loudly next to someone's board when they're playing?
No, it's never been okay to do that.
It's busy mental, really.
That reminds me that's a throwback to when we played in January. We were like the last game going, and the arbiters were just like screaming at each other.
I don't remember that.
I think you were already like much better, and you were down to about 2 minutes. I was sitting there and like,
because I was like, I had not much time at all, so I was like, I was focused. Yeah.
And they were like, even though they were miles away, they were so loud. I remember just like.
Well, I think John Thornton, for all his qualities, one of them is not being quiet in a chess club or playing hall, is it? Like,
no, because his whisper is louder than his normal voice.
He's like, yeah, whispering.
Yeah, it's difficult to us. We actually had a bit of an issue with somebody whispering in our club the other week, and when some juniors were playing, and he was from the opposition team, and it caused a bit of fuss actually. So it's always best if you're going to talk about the games to go outside the room.
You've always got the designated shushers as well, haven't you?
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
Joe Fatala.
Got a good shush on them. Some of them are really good shushers, like. And then others don't command any respect, and their shushing actually becomes a distraction itself. So
it's interesting, actually. What's the worst shush that we've actually had? So have we actually been shushed before? I actually got shushed at the.
I've never been shushed.
Recently, I got shushed recently because when we went down to that national teams thing in Oxford, I took the Staffordshire teams down there. Between the rounds, I walked in to speak to Kevin because all the boards were gone. Couldn't see in the far corner there's one game going on, so I start talking. He turns around, shh, they'd loud at me. So I made a mistake recently. Apologies about that. That was quite embarrassing. Like yourselves, have either of you two been shushed badly?
I don't make any noise in a chess hall, so no.
Yeah, I don't. I think I've been stitched up a few times where someone's come and spoken really loudly at me, and then we've both been shushed, but I wasn't. But what I'll say, I'm on the reverse. Like, I don't shush people usually, but every now and again, if it's like constant, I'll probably like lose. And I'm not a polite shusher. I'll be like properly rude to someone if they're really like annoying me.
Oh, I'm quite on the hard stare, like Paddington. Just I don't know. You might not without kids, you don't know about Paddington's hard stare, but yeah, that's how you tell someone off, the hard stare. So I've mastered the hard stare.
Hang on, we were talking about gaining rating. How have we gone to? Okay. Let's click on played.
Oh, it was Club Championship. The link was Club Championship. Alex was on about people talking and texting. I mentioned talking and texting.
Yeah.
And that's how we got onto it. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So Josh McKenna is before we start, he's officially on 81 there, but I'm knocking him down to 80 or 80.5. Because he played a club championship game last night. It lasted 9 moves, so I told him he can't count that as a game. I said that's if you spend more time traveling to the game than playing it, you can't have it. So we'll take it out. But he did win with the Caro in 9 moves, so maybe we should help him win. So do we give him 2 for that? Yeah, it's either 0 or 2. It can't be a 1.
I feel like since I don't know if you do, Alex, but I haven't got any material for Caro Club. So can you remember that game? Because I want to see a 9-move Caro win.
I might be able to. Yeah, he did send it to me actually, so I can get
it. 9 moves, then surely you can at least work. It's like that loss that I had in about 10 moves. You could work it out from that, from the end position. So
yeah, I think I'll be able to do it.
I didn't even know it's possible to win in 9 moves. like literally, it's just
Oh, you played last night, Alex.
Did you win
last night? I did, yeah.
Oh, you got challenged.
I actually sent an email out because I thought I'm not going to play much like over Christmas, so I thought I'd try and get in an extra game before I do. So I played Sunday, then played Wednesday, and now I won't play until probably January for NCL maybe.
Yeah, same here actually. Okay, well, this has not much changed since last time. Well done to the juniors at the top there. And Adam, Lucas, you'll learn a lot from that. But Josh, Tim, Andrew, and Sam are the top 4. And Josh is clear by 11 games now. And Tim, we don't think is entering Hastings, do we? When's that start?
No, I don't think so. I know a couple of Welsh players are, but I think Tim hasn't entered. He usually actually enters on time. He does not a last-minute kind of guy.
No, he's not usually, no. Unless he sees this and really wants it. So looks like Josh has got this wrapped up and in the bag. But we will obviously do we've got 2 more weeks left to do the stream before the I guess that'll be the end point then, won't it? So we'll see how he goes on. Okay, so well done to those players. So just a quick update. I'm going to do this verbally. I've not prepared anything. I was in Liverpool on Saturday to what I thought was help out at the North of England versus Wales junior match. Because I was bringing some players because the North was struggling a little bit to get a team together. I'd also contacted some of the North Wales clubs to see if they could help Ian Eustace with some of the Welsh juniors. So I turned up thinking that I'd just be helping out. Turns out I'm actually, in the end, the only person that stayed all day from the North of England team. And actually, I was the main go-to guy in the end.
You're the king of the North.
King of the North, basically, yeah, which was not planned at all. So it just goes to show, though, doesn't it? If I don't actually know if I hadn't have turned up, which I technically didn't need to, what would have actually happened? Because I was literally sat down, and there was another guy there for most of the day, Rob Steele. He's a very good guy from Liverpool, runs a junior club up there, and we were writing down our team with each other. But apparently we had 5 other kids so many other kids from somewhere else, and we didn't know who they were, so we had to call somebody to get their names. And it wasn't planned beforehand that we'd need all their names together, which I knew we would, but I was deliberately leaving it to the day just to see if anybody actually contacted me beforehand, and they didn't. But the overall results were North of England won the under 12. We absolutely destroyed Wales, actually. Where did I put the scores? I saved them somewhere. But in the under 14 section, Wales won. Yeah, you beat the North of England. You actually did really well in the under 14 section. It's a really good team. I haven't got individual names.
How many boards?
So in the under 12, it was 10 boards.
All right.
So it's pretty good, actually. And yeah, really quite strong, actually, all the way through. The second round 2 was actually much more competitive. Wales got a few more points on the board. I think it was 15-5 to North of England. It was 8.5, 1.5 in round 1 in the under 12s, so it was pretty good. The under 14s, Wales won 9-3. So that was over 6 boards. And yeah, that was really strong team of Wales there. I think actually, if we look at the entrance actually on the calendar, who was it? Govind, Emma, Yaroslav. I'm not sure if David was there, but they were definitely there on the day, and they're a strong top 3. And then the under 16, North of England won 7-5 against Wales. Yeah, closer, much closer actually. Some really good games there actually. It was an hour on the clock each, and some of them went the full 2 hours plus distance as well, 10-second increment. So it was actually just a really good day. But of course, Johan, if you're from South Wales, or Alex, you're from South Wales, do you want to drive up to Liverpool for one day and then play 2 games and then drive your child back again?
Nope. Pass on that, no.
No, I thought not. So we had a meeting.
The other thing about it being overnight, right, as well, it's more fun, isn't it?
It was so good back in the day.
There's always a bit of banter. You've got stories. You're messing about, blah blah blah. Like this, and then it just inspires you to do it again. It's like it just makes a big difference.
Well, that's what I was. That's kind of why I turned up as well, to see what the atmosphere was like. So I was able to go through a game between the rounds, or 1 or 2 games, speak to some of the players, because I had players on both sides, Wales and from my Staffordshire, Shropshire area that I do a lot of coaching with. And actually, I spoke to Peter Perland, Ian Eustace, and Rob as well at the end. And I think next year, hopefully, we can get Scotland back into it. But my suggestion was to make sure it's a whole weekend. Even if it's still, because it used to be 2 games Saturday, 1 game on the Sunday. But even that to me doesn't feel right, because you're staying over the entire night just to play 1 game on the Sunday. So my suggestion was, well, okay, we know that Scotland have to go back after that game on the Sunday because they've got a long way to go. But what we could do is, rather than having another game on the Sunday, we could maybe have a training session, or we could have a Grandmaster simultaneous display, or title player simultaneous display, kind of in that Sunday kind of early afternoon to mid-afternoon kind of time. And if people want to go home because it's a long way, they can do. If they want to stay, then there's a good reason for them to as well. So hopefully that's been taken on board. And
I think it's a good suggestion. I think the important thing is that it's 2 days. Like, it doesn't matter what's on the second day or whatever. It's just like, it just makes a difference.
Yeah, and that's staying over, isn't it? And I guess some of the under 16s can probably do it without their parents, but under 12s will probably have some parents with them, I should imagine. Although I guess we didn't, did we, Johan? I don't think.
Some did, not everyone. Not everyone's parents came, yeah.
Yeah, depending how old you were. Alex, did your parents go with you?
No, I didn't go. Well, I went when I was under 14. My parents, no. But it was good because there were a load of people my age, so we had a good team under 14. And the first time we just had normal room shares. The second time we had a house. It was Ian Eustace, Russell Doddington, and then 6 of us, and it was all it was insanely cool. I remember playing a ton of poker. That's all I really remember about it.
Yeah, I remember the last time we went up to Liverpool. I just remember on the Sunday, obviously, we were young, so there was no drinking or any partying or anything, but you still stay up too late and stuff. And I remember Doug fell asleep at the board on the Sunday, and it was are you allowed to wake him up? He's going to lose on time. He literally fell asleep. I think it was Doug. It was one of the Monmouth boys anyway, but they literally fell asleep by the board, and it was and it was just so funny.
I mean, this is great for us. We think this is great. Ian would not like this,
No, but still, that's what motivates you to do the work, to turn up to tournaments. You need to have some fun, don't you? Right?
Yeah.
You need to have some fun.
Yeah.
And that was all part of the fun. Whatever made him fall asleep at the board, it was having too much fun the night before.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I definitely said make it a 2-day event, and really pushed hard for that. So hopefully, and if we need to help out in some way to make it a fun event, or maybe we can have a weekend in Liverpool, Alex, Johan, I don't know. Maybe that might be a good idea. Take you around my old haunting grounds.
Liverpool's a good city, actually, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, Title Tuesday league games, guys. You got anything to show us of fun, of notes, of interest?
Literally nothing. This Title Tuesday was annoying because I kept on getting not paid, for no reason. I was there, and I think Carlson didn't get paid for 1 round and then just quit or something. So I think it was a general glitch or something. So I don't know, but I wasn't, and I got some ridiculously low. I think I got 3 or something. I normally get 5 or 6, every week, 5 or 6, and I got 3, so it wasn't good. It was just, it was just poor. I don't actually remember anything that happened. I don't remember any of the games or, nothing memorable. So no, it was terrible. How was yours, Alex?
Well, it wasn't great, but I have one nice game, which I'll show. And Johan, I'm going to test you.
Okay.
I'll explain why. Okay, so you can see my screen, yeah?
Yeah.
So when I was probably 12 years ago, when I first went coaching with Johan, I remember he taught me this opening.
I was E4?
Yeah. I just
played E4 for a while, have you?
In Title Tuesday, I keep playing E4 because I want some fun stuff. They keep going E5 and I get annoyed.
Okay.
But finally someone plays something proper. And I remember when you showed me this line once in the end. It's really nice. And I was like, I can't wait to play this over the board. And I never ever got to play like this out fully.
Okay,
played it on Title Tuesday, and I got this all like the full line. I'm like, oh, it's so nice. So see how good your memory is, Johan.
Okay.
So
an open Sicilian, wow.
So it's a Najdorf.
Did you go Welsh attack?
After, so Bishop C4. So you can just tell me the moves because you should be able to play out the game just as I did, Johan.
I would imagine Bishop B3.
Yep.
Yeah.
B5.
Bishop G5 or Queen F3 is one of those two. Yeah, Bishop G5. Okay.
Bishop B7.
Okay. Is it? It's not Queen F. This is Queen F3. Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, is this the one with E5?
Tell me, Johan. You tell me.
And then, so it's castles, isn't it?
Which side?
Queen side. And then E5, right? And then you sack your queen. I have played this before. You take on F6. Do you remember it after all those years?
I do.
Amazing. This is a beautiful game. Right, take on E7. I love this. This is so good. Knight takes E6.
Knight takes E6.
Oh.
Do you remember this from like literally?
I do, because I thought Knight E6 was the coolest move I've ever seen. And I was like, I want to play this one day. And I had some good games in this opening, also a lot of bad ones, but I never got to play this. So like as soon as he went in for it, I was just hoping he would take on D1 because I mean you're winning even if he doesn't take on D1. But yeah, this 96 just beautiful, right? Yeah, and see, I'm there with 2 minutes 59 on my clock, and I just played this.
He's taking cheater.
He probably is. And I mean.
There is a way. I don't know if it's whether. I think actually it's you can. It's with the queen on b6, isn't there? Where there is a way out of it for black, where you're only slightly better for white, but this one's dead lost, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you drop a whole piece. I mean,
I think that you can play the same line where the queen is on b6. I think, and it's like just slightly better for white. So because you're not hitting the queen, or there's a way out of it, or something.
Yeah, I feel like that's relevant because there's probably some rook e8 or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, he took on e7, and it's just a whole piece. In true Title Tuesday fashion, it took me to move 99 to actually win this in a rook game, which is not something I'm proud of. But yeah, it's not a ton, but I just thought I'd show the point of 96.
I'm glad you showed this game. Like literally, like how long ago was this?
Well, I remember we did this was one of the first things that we did as well. So it would be
this would have been well early on.
So it's like minimum of 12 years ago, probably more.
Yeah.
See, we both still remember it, Johan. Look how good we are at chess.
And it takes down an FM as well. You know, that coaching from 12 years ago.
I mean, FM.
It's the thing that sometimes you do the work and it doesn't come out for a long time later.
I mean, maybe I should play E4 more often, right?
Yeah, I mean, this line is lethal against the Najdorf. It's absolutely lethal.
So what should black have done, by the way? Should black have maybe played bishop b7 instead of castling?
There's loads of ways to play for black.
Just anything instead of castles, isn't it? Like,
yeah, there's lots.
Which is weird.
It's natural moves, isn't it, for black? Those the natural moves. But that Richard and Leighton. I mean, I have had plenty of wins in that line as well with the Najdorf, big wins. But they made so many norms and stuff at Olympiads. So it's kind of legendary stuff, that line against the Najdorf from a Welsh point of view.
And okay, we've got because I've started playing the Najdorf online, by the way, guys. Did you see on my online account? Just for fun, to learn something about it. So I was interested to see because there's a lot of 95 stuff. We saw Tim do that in the Olympiad, didn't we? And different things, different sacrifices all over the place. So it's quite interesting for me to look at that game too. Actually, you know what you're going to do now. But we've got quite a lot going on in worldwide chess, guys. I don't even know where you want to start with this. Any key points? I mean, should we finish off the London Chess Classic?
It's an odd tournament, that wasn't it? Really odd. Like some big blunders from Gukesh and Neiman. Like it was just such a weird tournament after absolutely smashing up the tournament before coming in so cold, and then Shreyas getting a GM norm. So
yeah, I'm trying to scroll down. Does it have a cross table on this chess base article? No, it's just talking about Michael Adams. Okay, sorry, that was me hoping there was a cross table there.
on Twick is probably an easy one to find, isn't it? I'd imagine.
On where?
Twick.
Okay.
I can find it if you want. Cool.
Yeah, if you got it, then load it up. If you got all the tournaments on there, I was just thinking about a cross table for it. Would be quite nice.
Let me just click on that. Yeah, I've got
but
one.
I do agree the standard was pretty terrible. Like, I've never seen so many games swing from like winning to losing at that level. You know, you get super GMs who don't win winning positions, but to lose them is special.
Yeah. So I can just about make out there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. How do you zoom? Can you zoom in?
So if you go right, the top right, or right click and then zoom, sometimes.
I can't see a zoom on there.
It's on the web page. It should be.
Is that bigger now?
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I forgot I've got touch screen.
Yeah. So the games didn't like Jules Massard miss a simple tactic against Adams as well.
It was so weird that was because he played an amazing game. It was a perfect game, and then he just completely hung. Just didn't finish it off. It was so weird.
Mm.
I mean, he should have won the tournament, Musard, because if he'd won that and then because he was winning against Shreyas as well, and blundered that one away. So if he just converts relatively easy, not easy for me, but easy for 2600 positions, he wins the whole thing. It was just bizarre. Yeah. But instead, he finishes 8th. It's like
this was a really weird tournament. There were so many decisive results and weird blunders and stuff. It was. I mean, that one, Gukesh's one against, was it Musard? Was just horrendous, for him, because he played really well, great opening prep and stuff. He's +3, about to take the lead in the tournament, and just sickening tactic.
Yeah,
it was a nice one, but still
should have loaded up these tactics. I've seen them all, and but we can't go through all the tactics, can we? What do you think about the English contingent then? Obviously, Shane was off, but I mean, really, you've got obviously Vitugov, who's just come back from quite a good performance.
So well recently, Vitugov. At the Grand Swiss, he was good. At the European, he was good, and then he just had a horrendous tournament. Yeah,
I was surprised.
Terrible.
And I think it's the case with all the English ones that they lack consistency, because you think if Mickey had played like this in the Europeans, they'd have won gold because Vitugov was playing well and Adams wasn't. But then here, Adams turns up, Vitugov doesn't. So I think that's why they're that step below the real elite. If Vitugov played how he did when he was at his best, he'd probably be 2750 odd.
Adams, it was so weird as well. I hadn't chatted to you guys about.
We lost
this. Did you see the draw he took against Gukesh? He's +3.5. He's 2 pawns up, and he just takes a draw.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's so weird. What are you doing? You're 2 pawns up, and you're 2700. What are you doing?
Was it completely riskless? Was there?
King was a little bit out, but
he wasn't going to lose, right? The worst thing that would have happened is that he would have blundered into a perpetual or something.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
What do you think really then of Schroel? Obviously, he had this opportunity. There was some eyebrows raised about that.
I mean, he didn't. He was there. He was in the games, wasn't he? But there was a few moments of luck which you've got to take, I guess. But still, you've got to stay in the game and take your moments. And fair play did it, which is amazing for a 14-year-old. Amazing.
Well, would you agree maybe that this is also showing us really that these grandmasters were able to criticize their game so much? Chess is just a really hard game.
Yeah, chess is bloody hard.
And actually,
so hard.
They're showing it. We don't even want to get to 26. We just want to get to 24. Really, that's kind of our targets. Maybe even 23 for me and Alex would be nice. But these people are 2600 plus, and they're making some of these mistakes, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, that looks so simple, and yet actually then we go and look at our games and go, hang on a minute, what do they think looking at our games? It's even worse, right?
It shows the importance. If you want to keep your rating up, of basically just making sure that you play people above you. like
Yeah.
because anyone can get results and stuff. Like, you know, if you put Shreyas against just like 2300s and he just played them, then his rating would probably go down. Like,
well, that kind of brings us on to the next point.
Plays 2700s, his rating's going to go up. Like, this is how I got my rating up on chess.com and light chess. Like, it just set my formula to not play anyone 25 points lower than me. Like, your rating goes up. You could do the experiment, just change your formula, and if you don't play people below you, your rating will go up. So
there you go. Then there's a great tip for everybody in the chat. Go and change your settings on livechessandchess.com and do it so you don't play anybody massively lower rated than you, and just play against loads of people higher rated than you. And Jan is saying guaranteed on him. You can sue him if it doesn't happen. Your rating will go up as well.
Mine went up like 200 points or something on light chess. Yeah.
I'm not surprised, because when you play against stronger opponents, you kind of do without thinking, and you shouldn't. You do change your game a little bit too, and on average you'll be better. But this whole tournament was put on for Mr. Gukesh, wasn't it? Really, we think.
Sort of.
Yeah, to try and get into the candidates, and he's not done so. What did he need to get into the candidates?
He needs to win the tournament outright.
Okay. And he lost to Neiman in the last round. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
so really, quite easily as well, right? Like,
well,
the first time I looked at it,
you know what? It was actually really weird, right? It was so weird because he had an amazing position, and he played a move that, like, you'd never think that was a losing move, and also like it was just amazing, like how. So basically, Gukesh castled the wrong side. If he castles the other side, like, he's going to win. So he castles short, and like, and Neiman plays like rook from A1 to A4, and it hits a pawn on G4, and it just happens to not be possible to defend it, and then everything collapses. It's like you wouldn't think that a move like that would just literally end the game. It was kind of a weird one, but still, I guess he should have seen it.
Before we move on to look at like the other candidates tournament that's going on at the moment, Sickers, and then anything else. Thoughts on Neiman here with his performance here and his performance in the last tournament? Changed, Johan, because he did a simultaneous at the end of this. Did he play in the Pro Biz Cup, that doubles event that happened down there? Seemed to take a lot of photos. I saw on Twitter. It was a happy smiley face, letting his chest do the talking. Do we feel the same, Johan, as you did previously? I think we disagreed on some points.
It's just weird, isn't it? It's really weird. But you know, like you can have these swings, you can be tired and all of this, but it's just such a weird performance. His last tournament, it's like a once in a blue moon type thing, you know. Like get 29-70 performance or something and then not follow it up, like just that doesn't really happen to. It doesn't happen normally, does it?
It is a little, obviously there is variance, but that does feel crazy, isn't it? So we got 8 out of 9 in the previous event, which was pretty much as strong as this one, would you say?
I think it wasn't as strong, but still, you know, it's in the ballpark, right?
Yeah, the ballpark. And then literally a day or two afterwards, he was playing in this tournament, and he did lose some games. Maybe he thought he was going to win, but then won some games he thought he was going to lose as well. And okay, well, let's have a look then at, I don't know if you can, have we got Sickers and see, because we've got the candidates race really hotting up, haven't we? So this is, can somebody kind of fill me in? Is there a date on this, by the way, guys? When does this all need to be completed?
It's like 1st of Jan or something, right? I think it's the end of this year.
So by the 1st of Jan, we've got how many spots left? Is it 1 spot left? 2 spots left?
Two spots left.
Who's fighting for these spots? Giri's currently in pole position, right?
So there's 2 spots. So there's a rating spot and Grand Prix slot.
Okay.
So the FIDE Grand Prix, Giri is in first place, but Gukesh could overtake him.
Okay.
If Gukesh wins, like this tournament that they've hastily organized for him in India.
Yeah.
So for the rating spot, it's between he's in first place at the moment, Dominguez, or further back, there's a few people like Mogsudlu.
Okay.
So he is a way back though, but he's on like some serious form. He's about 15 points back, so you'd have to have a very good tournament.
Yeah.
But it's possible on his form. He's been smashing everyone up, so
that'd be good actually, because he's quite young, isn't he? Actually.
Yeah. He's about Parham's about, I don't know, 20 or something. So it could be quite a young candidate if he and Gukesh get the places. So.
Okay. And we've got Dominguez playing in Sitges. Is that how I pronounce it, by the way? Sitges?
I would say Sitges. I mean, it's probably wrong. But it's fine.
Okay.
No idea.
And I don't know if anybody wants to have a look at how he's getting on over there.
He didn't. I saw he had a draw, didn't he, against 2300? Just like the last thing you want when you're trying to increase your rating by 1 point.
It
just needs 1 point.
Oh, is that all he needs?
Yeah, 1 point to go past. So he was 1 point behind him.
Do you think if he'd won in round 2, do you think he'd have withdrawn?
They talked about that. They talked about that on the Caruana podcast, whether he could just play 2 games, go past and withdraw. But
I think you would, right?
But no, what was weird was, right, I don't know why, but Caruana seemed to think that he needed to play half the tournament. But like, I don't understand what the difference between half the tournament and,
because this is the problem with Dominguez, isn't it? That he hasn't played enough events outside the US. So it's not just his rating, it's his.
Yeah.
Okay. So that. If he didn't have that, then you would.
The thing is, so basically that was his random rule that FIDE made up at the last minute. So if he, essentially, if he challenged it legally, then there's no way they could defend that rule because they just made it up at the end.
They do what they want, though, FIDE, don't they?
They do what they want.
Yeah, but I think if you challenged it, then that would. But you obviously couldn't be bothered. So
plus, you challenge it, it'll take 4 years to go through CAS, right? They're not going to get a resolution in the next year or whatever. So
yeah. Just looking at the top board here, just to show this kind of comes on to the point that we're trying to show here that there's a lot of people when you play against lower rated players.
Yeah.
This
that looks brutal, doesn't it?
Alex Cinco here outrated his opponent by over 200 points. And he lost.
Famous Austrian player, yes.
Yeah. Never heard of James Morris before, and he's an IM, and he's turned over Alex Cinco on top board.
Sounds like he could be a bit Welsh with that name.
Yeah, possibly. Joan the Willow's got a good draw against a young lad, Leon Mendonca, 2600. But, Joan is as good as anybody now, definitely capable. So we have to scroll down a bit, don't we?
Yeah, scrolling to find Dominguez.
Because...
He had an upfloat, didn't he? He had an upfloat.
Here he is.
He won. He did win.
So sorry it's a bit small on the screen, but he won his first game against the 2071. But then he played somebody 2373, shoved JS Ladder, an FM, who is, how many points is that? So 370 points lower rated than him, and he had to take a draw.
So he's 2 points. He's 2 points down. He's losing 2 points, but so he could still do it by the end of the tournament if he wins them all.
Could do. Look at this kid though, right? This Pranav. Oh, is it going to click?
No, you have to click on. If you just click where you can actually see his name.
Let me just scroll up. Look at this kid, KP Pranav, right? Round 1 beats 2300. Round 2 beats 2366. His rating is 1859.
He's going to be gaining some, isn't he?
He's getting 35 points at the moment. Losing to Dominguez is his worst result. I mean, he's on 2 out of 3. He's rated 1859, and he's toppling 2300s. This is just so commonplace now for these Indians that because they all play against each other, they got so good, but they can't gain rating against each other. So when they go to play outside of the tournaments, they're just absolutely demolishing everybody. Although saying this,
but do you know what's funny though? If you keep an eye on this kid's progress in this tournament, there'll be at least one game where his opponent just won't turn up. Now that they've seen what he's done, because obviously Dominguez was always going to turn up, but someone who plays him later, when they see their page in 1800, who's basically 2300, they're just not going to bother. Yeah. You see it all the time. It doesn't happen so much in this country, but abroad it's common practice. If you play someone that criminally underrated, you just don't turn up. That's
really
nobody judges you. You don't get kicked out of the tournament. They just pay you again the next day.
Yeah, which I think that's wrong, but
bad, isn't it? Yeah.
that's culture though for you
Again,
as well.
It's pretty horrible. It's a horrible situation to be in when you're playing one of those people, isn't it? Bit like my game in the last 4 NCL. Like I've just got like literally not like it's a lose-lose situation when you're playing someone who is 2000 and they're actually 23 something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, actually, maybe we should start not turning up if our player's underrated. What do you think?
Yeah, you've got to
protect our rating.
I think if you've got,
for the Olympiad.
like, I get it, right? If I had 3 norms and all I needed was a rating, then yes, like maybe I'd consider it. But still, like if you're still trying to improve and stuff, then you just need to play chess, don't you?
Yeah, you're actually missing out by not playing, aren't you? As well.
Yeah,
long term. 23.99,
and I needed 1 point because I, you know, like maybe I'd think about it then, but.
Yeah, I think it should be added to tournament regulations, actually. That if you default that... Well, it depends actually why you defaulted, doesn't it? If you're sick.
No, but you should be removed from the tournament anyway. If you're sick, you shouldn't play the next round, whatever, right? So if you don't turn up for a game, I would remove you from the tournament. Because you basically ruin the tournament, right? For starters. Because you have, especially if you're higher rated, because you have someone who doesn't deserve to get a point, someone gets an easy game, and you've already ruined the tournament. So you should be punished. If I was in charge, I'd be ruthless with this sort of thing.
I mean, I like it, but I do think that there's probably an ulterior argument where sometimes these things happen, like a sickness bug. If it's a game a day, then you can recover for the next day, and because I think there has been that before, hasn't there? I mean, you think about the European teams this year, wasn't there a whole sickness bug going around? And people were
especially at these team tournaments and stuff, it's quite common, isn't it? Like in certain countries and stuff. Yeah.
So, I mean, I love the hardcore approach, and I would vote for that, but I don't think it's gonna.
It won't, because everyone's snowflakes, but they should be ruthless. And like in my opinion as well, if I was organising the tournament, someone withdrew, I wouldn't accept their entry the next year.
Ooh.
Because that could screw up a tournament also, right?
Yeah, it could do. Yeah. I don't like it when people withdraw because they've just lost.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of bad, but okay. Okay. So Dominguez is looking. He's got to win his next load of games to get back what he's lost, and then so he's got to gain 3 more points, basically.
Yeah,
Dominguez has. Okay. And who's he got next? Has he got a decent rating? I can't even see.
It doesn't look like
they won't put him on chess 24 until
right. Okay.
The game,
okay, and final point then, guys. I can close this off because we've also got FIDE fining Magnus Carlsen 10,000 euros, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, really. They found him not guilty of everything apart from pulling out of a tournament, or whatever. It's kind of weird. And I don't know, it was like a cop-out, really. It was kind of a cop-out of them not saying that they thought Neiman cheated, but also not saying that Carlsen was wrong to have accused him of cheating. It's it was kind of and also I don't know, there was something about they had some sort of, they keep going on about these expert witnesses in terms of cheating, and it sounds like they don't have a clue what they're on about, literally no clue. So apparently in the guy's methodology of how he decides if he thinks you've been cheating or not, you could get away with cheating for 3 moves in the game. He openly admits you could definitely cheat for 3 moves and I wouldn't be able to catch you.
So what's everybody going to do now?
It's nuts, isn't it? It's just nuts. He's yeah, but it's as if he's saying, well, that's not enough to win a game. Well, it's easily enough to win a game if you're 2,600. If you're 2,600, you can play a pretty good game of chess. Right, this is the crunch time. I'm going to cheat. And then you've got a winning position and you're good enough to convert it. To
be honest, ridiculous. You don't even need to know what the move is. You just need to know the evaluation. Of the position.
All you need to see is the evaluation bar. So this is something that obviously his methodology doesn't take into consideration at all. Is what he's thinking cheating is in literally asking the computer what the move is and then using that. If you just saw the evaluation bar during the game, like I reckon that takes me to, I don't know, 2600, maybe higher, because I can solve very difficult problems if I know it's a problem. And as soon as that evaluation bar moves, like, you know, if you know there's a solution there, you'll find it if you're a certain level. So it's ridiculous. That I wouldn't be using a computer move ever during that game.
It's a weird. I did see some snippets of it where they're saying, I don't know if this was in there because I haven't read this full thing. If people want to read it, just Google FIDE press release Carlson Neiman, and this will pop up, and you can read it in full. But I saw something on Twitter where apparently it said that online cheating is exactly the same as over the board cheating, and punishment should be the same, or words to that effect. Which, while I appreciate it is still cheating, I do think that they are separate things. I kind of treat online chess as a separate game to over the board chess, even though it's the same crime. I don't know, Alex, if you think the same thing or.
Yeah, I think it's different. I mean, in my opinion, I think cheating in over the board chess should be the same punishment as cheating in sport. If you at least a 2-year ban, probably more realistically.
They need to come down on it hard now because it's so rife. Like, and I mean, it seems like at the moment the first thing, like whenever you have a problem, the first thing you have to do is admit it, acknowledge it, and that we don't seem to be there yet because all the authorities seem to be denying how rife it is. Like, it's just so obvious that a lot of people are cheating online. Like, top grandmasters are cheating. It's so obvious that they just need to admit it and then sort it out. Because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that the problem is though is that we're talking. I mentioned that word culture before, and I don't want to come across like we're a better country than other countries. Is that wrong? Because I do feel like
everybody cheats. It's human nature. Like it's just human nature to cheat.
I don't feel like it's acceptable here though. I think if we knew a cheat. You know, if we knew somebody was regularly cheating again and again and again, especially over the board, they would get shunned completely. Whereas I have a feeling that in other countries that might not happen.
Well, hold on, though. Right, this is the country that when people were cheating online and were caught by the 4NCL for cheating online, they were suspended till the end of the 4NCL season and allowed to enter the next season.
Of course,
and as long as they created a new account. Oh yes, because I've got a new account, I'm suddenly not cheating. Like, you know, that was farcical.
Yeah, I forgot about all that.
So that's the culture in our country.
I think essentially, like it's just humans. Everybody cheats if they can get away with it. So that's why like appropriate punishment is required. Like, and it's game theory and mathematics, right? If you just have one cheater, and if there's one cheater, then eventually with the equilibrium will shift to everybody cheating or giving up chess. Like, that's just what happens. It's like, I don't know, Nash equilibrium or something is called, and like, you know, they need to sort it out because essentially like the percentage of people cheating online is ridiculous. Like, I've even got people, like, I keep getting messages. I've been playing Bullet recently, and I would have thought the reason I play Bullet is it's impossible to cheat in it, but like people must have some good software or something, because I keep getting messages of the 10 people cheated against you yesterday, have some rating back. And I'm like, how on earth are they cheating in Bullet? Like, you have to have some sort of software that tells you something in the ear. Yeah, you can't check your machine, you can't input the moves yourself. There has to be some random people who are like, you know, not even that highly rated have got this software and are using it. I don't know why, like what they're getting out of it, for beating me at 1 minute, Jess. Like, did you get a kick out of that? Like, what?
They probably do, actually. Yeah, they probably do get a kick.
It's sad,
it's me. It? I'm just there rubbing my hands with my fake account.
It shows you how rife cheating is. If people are cheating at 1 minute, Jess, against me, like for no reason at all, they're not getting any money or anything. So how, like, as soon as you add some sort of prestige money in there, the percentage is going to go up, isn't it?
I mean, they should just remove all money from online chess. I mean, that's a no-brainer. There's no need to have money.
Well, chess.com's got a lot of money.
Yeah, so take the money away and people won't cheat.
Yeah, but
I think when it's blatant, you just make an example of people, right? There's some people that are obviously cheating on Title Tuesday because they're not that great over the board and they win Title Tuesday all the time. Just ban them. Like, seriously, just ban them, make an example out of them, and then, and then that will start to solve.
Yeah, but that's not their goal, though. Their goal is to increase the number of people playing chess online, so they get more signups, they get more revenue, and actually this furore, this kind of banter about, well, it's not banter. This serious problem of cheating is getting the headlines.
Yeah,
it's actually good PR for them, really.
Good PR, yeah. It is good PR until it flips, exactly. So that's why they're not doing anything about it.
Or maybe not going as hard as they possibly can do.
I think what's coming is that because they're treading the line between making money and not pissing off the top players too much. And I think what's coming is probably a raft of bans. Like, I think there's a few. Like, I think they will kick out like 20 people in one go, rather than drip. Like, one person, and they will go, all of you guys, goodbye. Like, this is just ridiculous. You've beaten Caruana 12 times in a row, like, and you're 2,500. That doesn't happen. Bye. Like, there are people that are 2,500 that have beaten him like 12 times in a row or something.
And we know he's not the best at blitz, like against Carlsen and Nakamura, but against the 2,500,
he's well number 3.
Exactly, he's got better than him.
So
it's just ridiculous.
Like, so
do you?
I think that's enough evidence to ban someone.
Excuse me, sorry. Do we think that there is a danger that actually some of these online cheats will start trying to do the butt plug thing?
It will translate eventually.
Translate to over the board cheating.
It's like a gateway drug, isn't it? You get away with something in one field and you think, oh, wait a minute, like,
I think if I lost to someone who I know was cheating online and I lost them over the board, I would just assume they're cheating. Because if you're a cheat, it doesn't matter that you've just cheated and something different.
It's just harder to do. That's the problem. And, technology always improves. Eventually, it will become easy enough to cheat over the board. Eventually.
And probably.
Not for a little while, but it's coming. Like, technology always improves. Like, microphones get smaller and all of this, so it'll come.
Yeah, well, hopefully the tournaments take it a bit more seriously, and we'll all have to hire out those big what's it called, magnetic scanners or something like that, as people walk through, have people searched and everything, and for a weekend tournament or a league match in the evening, that would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Being wanted, in a league match in some pub somewhere.
But the solution is really easy, though, right? When people start cheating over the board, you just stop broadcasting the games on the internet.
Well, depends how there's lots of different ways of cheating, isn't there? There's lots of different ways.
But I think the majority will be via communication through someone watching on live boards. I mean, I'm sure there's more sophisticated ways, but I think all tournaments should have some delay.
Eventually, the more sophisticated ways now are sophisticated, but they'll become more obvious later, right? And also there'll be a market for it potentially, right? So people will actually produce these things to help people cheat eventually when there's a market for it. Like, some guy who wanted to prove that you could cheat without external help, like, and he did it was called like Sockfish or something, and he did some sort of thing that was in his sock, and it was connected to Stockfish, and it vibrated to tell him the moves. So you just wanted to prove it was possible to do without external help and without anything too sophisticated. So,
but what's his input? How does it know the position?
I don't know. I didn't read too much into the article, but I just know it's been done, and it was it was something quite small and difficult to detect. It's just in his sock. So that you'll be able to buy a Sockfish in a few years' time if there's a market for it.
All right, guys, I'm cancelling your. Oh no, you want to go through Caro Club? Your Caro game, maybe.
I mean, I guess it'll be 1 minute to show a 9-move game, right?
Yeah, go on then. So just while I've got this one up, so obviously next week we'll have a festive chat, so we'll be hopefully wearing our Christmas jumpers, Alex, and then the week after that it'll be our New Year chat, so we might do a review of the year, and hopefully we'll get some festivities going.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I've just had a thought. I'm going to do a quiz of the year And
good.
So you have to answer questions, John, on the year in chess.
Oh, fantastic! I can't wait.
And then people can join in at home.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, so go on, Alex. What's this? This is Mr. McKenna.
Let's flip it so we see it from the black side, obviously, because this is Carol. I've turn the engine off. So Josh is playing black. I won't name his opponent. It's a Caro with F3. So
Tim.
It is a very Tim-like opening, but it was Tim. But actually, I should say this opponent is higher rated than Josh McKenna, so it's not like he's playing some nobody. Josh goes Queen B6, not the main line, but quite like it. Knight C3, takes Bishop C4. Got a bit of a hacker in the house.
Okay.
A pawn. Josh goes E5.
Wow.
I think maybe it's the greatest move. Yeah. Takes on E5. Bishop C5. Can iron up these weak squares. White goes knight takes E4.
Okay.
Bishop takes G1.
Oh no.
Knight D6 check.
Okay.
King F8.
Did it take the bishop?
Knight takes C8. Queen F2 mate.
Oh no.
One for the Caro.
So it was mate as well.
Mate.
And not a single piece apart from that bishop developed. Amazing.
Well, I wouldn't even call the bishop on G1 particularly developed, to be honest. He's just plunked it where it can't go anywhere. But yeah, that's quite nice. Huh?
I guess he kind of gets a bit of reward there for playing E5, right? He messed the position up. He got a crazy position and really tested his board vision, calculating skills against his opponent. And on this occasion, got a quick win because of it. And that's why people play this kind of hacker style to get wins like this, right?
Yeah, you back yourself to out-calculate your opponent. It doesn't matter if the engine says it's +1 or whatever. Like, who cares if you can just...
Certain positions at least, yeah.
Yeah. Well done, Mr. McKenna. And that can count for 2 games, actually, in my book, because I think that's fantastic play. We've got a point in a question in chat for you to use for your end-of-year quiz, Johan, if you want to. But I think that's going to bring us towards the end of the chat for tonight, guys. So if you've enjoyed watching, please click follow, subscribe, like, whatever the button is for us, please. It helps us do more of these things. I think we're quite close to getting some sort of affiliate thing on Twitch, which will be really helpful. And the more viewers we get on YouTube as well also helps more of these streams go live. And maybe we could have some more in future months too to fill up the week a little bit better. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks for joining me, Alex and Johan.
Thank you.
Your voice has survived, John.
It's just about survived. But also, just to finish off the show, hang on a minute. I've seen something else. I can do.